Hey guys, so what I want to talk to you today about is food. Obviously, of course, I love food. Always want to talk about food, but more specifically, I want to talk about conscious eating, which you can kind of gather what it means. It basically means becoming more aware of your food and how it affects you and the world around you. It's something that I try to incorporate into my diet. I try to be really aware of what I'm putting into my body, on my body, around my body. I think that these things really can have an impact on your emotional well-being, your mental well-being, as well as your physical well-being. I think it's kind of like a package deal. So I believe in holistic health. Obviously, this will be different depending on where you're from, what kind of diet you have, but whether you're like an omnivore, a hardcore meat eater, vegan, vegetarian, it doesn't matter. There's a whole spectrum. Wherever you fall on that spectrum, you can use this to kind of improve the quality and the vibration of the foods that you eat, and therefore your quality of life and your quality of vibration. I want to share with you one practice that I use pretty sporadically. Like, this is not like a regular everyday kind of thing. And sometimes this practice is like a full-on meditation where I really just kind of go quiet, close my eyes, sit somewhere, get rid of all distractions, and I'll go into a meditation for it. Other times it's more like a research project where I'll go online and kind of investigate more about the facts of the things, or I will start writing notes down and make it more like a journaling thing. So take it or leave it. Like, as with everything that I say, if it doesn't resonate with you, if you don't really get a good vibe from it, turn it off. Go find something else to watch. This probably isn't for you. But if you do get a good vibe from it and you're like, hey, that could be useful, then why not try it out? Maybe it's for you. So whether you're doing this as a journaling practice or as a meditation, there's a few things that you want to keep in mind when you're trying to become more conscious of the foods that you eat and how they impact you. When you're looking at what you're eating, is it alive? Is it dead? Whereabouts on that scale does it fall, if anywhere? When you're talking about something like a living food, like raw foods, living sprouts, for example, or I would say are like on the high end of like a living food. And then on contrast to that, something like meat, would be on the other end, obviously, because it is very, very dead. It's probably been, a long time since it was killed, since it was a living, breathing thing. So, another thing always to keep in mind is chemicals, pesticides, that kind of thing. So how is it grown? What kind of fertilizers are used? Are there any chemicals put on the plant? What is the soil treated like? Is it a local food, or did it have to travel a really long way to get to you? What is the ecological footprint of the food that you're eating? How much packaging is involved? How much transport is involved? How much work, how much machinery, how much labeling is involved in this item? So again, how many hands did it have to travel through? And that's something really interesting to think about. I always think of like an apple, comparing buying one at a grocery store to buying one at like a farmer's market or something. Another important thing to keep in mind is, of course, the treatment of the workers. And if you're an omnivore, that's another thing to consider is the animals' lives themselves. So obviously, if you're buying a lot from grocery stores, you're supporting factory farming. So you need to understand exactly what those animals go through. You can check out Earthlings or Cowspiracy, Food Matters, Forks Over Knives, any of those. A number of them are available on Netflix as well, so that's free information, so you can kind of start to educate yourself about where your food comes from. On the same note, if you're a vegetarian, you need to be aware that you're supporting factory farming in the dairy and egg industries as well, which have their own types of cruelty, which in some cases, and depending on your opinion, are more severe. So based on these kind of thoughts and just cultivating this kind of awareness, we can then start to determine, if we believe that these things impact ourselves on a physical basis, maybe on a mental basis, but also the world. If you believe that, supporting factory farming for the rest of your life is harmful and it's not something that you want to give money to, then you need to kind of start leaning your diet and food choices and purchases to be more in line with those beliefs. In a kind of cool way, we can become like everyday activists by always choosing things that we believe are for a better world, by supporting the organizations and the industries that we believe are going to contribute to a better society. That's our way, and I think a huge way that we can make our voice heard. And honestly, I think it's really empowering to know that we have so much say in the future of our planet. If we all started making more and more conscious decisions about what we eat, what we buy, what companies we support, what kind of life we live, and how we interact in this world, honestly, I think it would be a lot more beautiful of a place, a lot more of a compassionate place very, very quickly. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you found it useful. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you do this meditation or you try it as a journaling activity. Whatever you do, I want to hear your thoughts about it. And yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.